Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb, Oklahoma, talking with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK in his office.
The Pat McGuigan of Capital B.
Thank you. Now I'm losing my cool here. The purpose of it, we're in the state capitol in Oklahoma City, and we just want to talk about, you did something very interesting this last several months as you put out a vision, an agenda of your own. Give me a thumbnail sketch of that for our viewers.
Well, I want to make this office important. I want the office to serve the people of Oklahoma well, and I think I can maximize service here by maximizing the office, defining it in such a way that makes it very responsive. I'm Lieutenant Governor, also the small business advocate for Oklahoma in the governor's cabinet. So, based on what you said, I traveled all of Oklahoma 77 counties my first year in office, my third year to do that, my third time rather to do that. So I traveled around, I asked questions, asked advice. I said, based on your life experience, what's Oklahoma's greatest impediment to growth? From those impediments, the advice I received, we put them in the first ever, we're told the first ever, Lieutenant Governor's Policy and Issues Report. You've seen it, you had a copy of it, you wrote a report on it. And we had great feedback, great turnout. Some of it spawned legislation. There's still a work in progress in some other areas. And it's not to take any credit, but it's just to be very responsive and try to have a real servant's heart to the people I represent.
Give me the two issues that are the most important in that.
Workers' comp and workforce development, bar none. Workers' comp for sure. It didn't matter if I was in rural Oklahoma, urban Oklahoma, town hall meeting in a cell barn, which that's where we had one town hall meeting, public libraries, corporations. It didn't matter where we were. Workers' comp was the number one issue. Now, second, probably a tie between workforce development and just tax issues in general. Nothing specific. Either it's customer service with the tax commission or personal income tax, corporate tax, property tax. That kind of was a pretty wide gambit.
Okay. Let's pivot, turn to the national picture. 3 months in a row, the prospective Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, has outraised the President of the United States. It's going to be a different kind of fall than 2008 was, where President Obama, then Senator Obama, raised a whole lot more money than John McCain. Talk about that. What's going on? And you're a politician. You're a man that's had to have your name on a ballot. You've run for stuff. You've had to raise money. What's going on in the presidential race?
When I walked in my campaign headquarters, there was always a white, dry erase board with the goal of the day. It's kind of like the first thing hits you in the morning, like, that's my hurdle of the day. That's what I have to do before they let me out of here. Fundraising is a very important part of the business because you can't get your message out and visit people without fundraising. Well, as either an office holder, candidate, fundraiser, or somebody that's advised other people in some sort of capacity, I think what we're seeing here, some people from time, as you know, Pat, they hedge a little bit. They might contribute a little bit just because they want to be helpful, but then they kind of think, well, how's this horse really going to do in the race? And once they see this is a very close contest and Governor Romney's doing well, people invest even more and they want to participate even more. I think that's what we're seeing with the fact that the governor's outraised the president in these recent months.
And interesting, $2 million of that, which is quite a bit this early in a cycle, from out of the state of Oklahoma for Governor Romney. Kind of interesting.
And all industries are represented in that $2 million that's come from our great state, but a lot of it, at least a good portion of it, maybe I can correct myself and say a good portion of it, stemmed from the president's decision and lack of approval of the Keystone Pipeline. We're a very heavily dependent oil and gas state, agriculture, oil and gas. We have other sectors that are growing in importance as well. With the oil and gas as one of our vertebrae and our backbone of our economy, we took that as an offense in Oklahoma that this Keystone Pipeline from Canada to the Gulf would not be approved by the State Department. And people in the industry here, whether the large corporations meeting or small mom and pop oil and gas companies, they took note and they want to help find a new leader in the White House.
And you think the trip to the hilltop to the site of the pipes
over in Cushing?
Yeah, in Cushing, didn't do him that much good?
Well, I'll let his campaigners and his spokesman decide if that was any good for his time, if his time well spent. We always want to welcome the president, whoever the president is, to the great state of Oklahoma. It's the president of our country, after all. He or she will always be welcome in Oklahoma. But for the photo op purpose, I think Oklahoma is a little too smart to think, oh, well, somebody came by and gave a speech and they stood by a bunch of pipe, i.e. Keystone Pipeline, I think we see through that. And what we understand, what we know, we need approval from the State Department, not just a picture and a speech.
Okay, last question. What's on your mind? You're already a leader of Oklahoma. This week, early August 2012, what's primarily on your mind?
Wildfires. Thank the men and women that are either paid firefighters or volunteer firefighters. Oklahoma's on fire right now. Thank the good Lord we got some rain in different parts of our state. I mean that very sincerely. Thank the good Lord we got some precipitation. He sends it. But thank you to the men and women. And right now I think about the wildfires and the drought that we're experiencing in our farms and ranches and our loved ones all across the state.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.